What did you see out there today?
Yeah, they won 5-0, and we were just kind of watching, and it's an early game. You got to find a way to get something going, and I thought it was a great crowd. We just didn't have a response to their offense, and I wouldn't say they dominated us, but a lot of what they got was kind of easy offense, and offense that with McKinnon we watched before the game what he likes to do, and he got to do a lot of what he likes to do.
Dylan, just how surprised are you at the start after all the talk after the last 2 games of needing to get off to a better start?
I don't know who was talking about that, but that's a good hockey team over there, and you show up to a game, you have a game, and you're going to play, and I think, like I said, they got to what they like to do, and we kind of just watched a little bit, but it's some really good players over there, and they got it easy, and then they executed and capitalized when they had their big chances and scored.
Dylan, is the power play another area that's kind of a concern right now?
Well, that's probably more, yeah, I would say, we're just not getting it done and not executing, we've been here, I guess. It's not going to be perfect every season, but we've been here before, and seems like every time we go over the boards, it's we can't get in the zone or we can't win the face. It's always something different. A lot of times right now, it's just not finishing and not getting it to the net and being dangerous around the net.
It won't be long before the Olympic break comes, and obviously you and a few of your teammates will be going over there, but for the rest of the team, do you feel like the break is coming kind of at an ideal time and that the rest of the guys could kind of use this time off?
Yeah, we got 2 really big games. It's been a condensed. Every team's going through it and playing the same schedule. We've played a lot of hockey, and you get bumps and bruises, and illness. You're going through it, so it is coming at a good time, and I think it's going to be huge for our team. But the beauty of this is we get to play those guys again, and they're a really good team. They're number one team in the league, but they're not the best team ever. It's not like we're playing against guys that can't be beat. So I think we have to go into their building with something to prove and start to a big 2-game swing for us.
You guys were so good on the 3-game road trip, and then to come back for 3 home games. How disappointing is it, especially offensively at home?
Yeah, very offensively, especially. It's just not getting it done, not getting to the final. We get in the zone, and it may look good sometimes, but it's not. The puck's not crossing the goal line, and I think probably the homestand, the 6-on-5 against Washington was the most desperation we played with, and the puck went in, and I think we have 2 games to the break, and then it's a sprint to the finish, and we got to start having a little bit of that desperation, especially around the net, and wanting to get there and score goals, and I'm probably look in the mirror and could lead the charge on that.
What do you need to see from your group on these 2 games before the break?
What we've showed this first stretch, resiliency, where we've bounced back. We've been kind of just chugging along, and things get a little bump in the road, and we just pick ourselves back up and keep going, and that's what we need to do against. And there's probably no better test than to go into that building and in Colorado and play against that offense. It's going to be if we're going to win, it's going to be a team win, and that's the way it's got to be.
Dylan, I know on Tuesday night after the loss, Coach said that you guys didn't have the energy. These 3 games here at home this week, has it felt like what the other team is doing to you, or has it just not been good enough what you guys are doing?
I mean, it's a little bit like I thought LA came in and they played a really good game, and they were the better team. Washington, you know, those guys were saying it's the biggest game of their season, and I talked to you guys after that game. I thought we responded after that first period where they came out and acted like it was the biggest game of their season, and you know, tonight I just don't think we had enough of the spirit and the legs. We just kind of watched. I'm sure Todd will tell you that. He told it to us. So he's hit the nail on the head with we just watched, and that was the story.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ellen.
What was the biggest issue in that group, did you think?
Biggest issue. I feel like we were, you know, we never really got to our game. We played right into their game. They're probably the best transition team in the league. You know, they probably get the most chances. They score on probably the most chances from what I've watched this year, and we fed right into it. We didn't establish forecheck, which means we didn't play enough offense, and they played enough offense.
JC, you guys just had such a good 3-game road trip. Why do you think it's been such a struggle, these 3 games at home?
I mean, you're gonna have ups and downs. It's stopping the downs, and you know, Todd said during the game that, you know, when it's going bad, you got to stop it, and it doesn't mean it goes all the way back up to the best level you've got. It's just got to inch back upwards, and you need to find things to build on. And you know, luckily we have another chance and to play these guys next game, and we just saw what they're capable of and what we need to bring.
What do you try to build on then?
I mean, it was something to build on in the game and in the third period, and I think there were spurts, but it's, you know, there's a ton of belief in our room. There's a lot of confidence in our room, and we've done it all year. We just need to return to that level.
When things aren't going your way, just how important is it to you just get like a power play goal to kind of get things jump started? And just what did you see from the power play during this homestand?
Yeah, it's not even. Sometimes you don't even need a goal. You just need to build shifts. You know, get scoring chances. You know, get a penalty kill. It doesn't always have to be a goal that can change a game. It can be a shift. It can be a couple shifts in a row. You know, where you're playing the game you want to play.
Is it more a need of urgency? I mean, to kind of combat the disappointment from the last 3 games as you try to look to finish up on a high note before you go into that break?
You know, I think you need to be urgent all year, especially when you look at the standings. It's, you know, it's there's a lot of teams grouped in the same area, and we know every point matters, and we'll be ready to go in Denver.
With the upcoming break, how big is that going to be for this team?
Yeah, we want to, you know, anytime there's a chance to get points, you know, we want to compete and give ourselves the best chance.
You guys haven't let bad runs fester this season. What has been the key to kind of stop the bleeding when things aren't going your way?
I think we have, you know, a base and a belief in that base of what we're capable of, and you know, we've played enough good hockey this year to fall back on that. But it's hard work. And it's only gonna get harder as you get down the stretch and you get into those moments.
Thank
Todd, first, your thoughts just on today's performance overall.
Disappointing. You know, lack of energy, a lack of drive, a lack of execution. You can't have all of those things disappear at one point and expect to have success. I didn't think we skated well at all. I didn't think we passed real well at all, which affects your skating. And then when it was time to do some of the harder or the heavier things, battles, 50-50s, loose stuff, you know, the 4-foot races, they were much better than we were. So we got to fix something.
You just talked a few days ago about how this season's team is better at getting out of a ditch. How do you do that now?
Well, we have to figure out why we're flat. You know, and there's different reasons for that. One is lack of focus, and if there's a lack of focus, then that's on all of us to get it back and make sure we're executing. It could be that you get stale with line mates and it's not working. It could be complacency that slips in, and you're okay with what's going on, and that's wrong, so we have to fix that. It could be a bit of a fatigue factor, and if it is that, then we got to suck it up. We have 6 periods left, and these points, tonight's points, the next game and the game after that could be the deciding points for whatever that decision is. I don't know, but those could be the deciding points, and if we aren't completely willing to dig in and get after them, then regret comes in many different ways and at many different times. Or we can dig in and at least give ourselves an opportunity. I don't think we did that tonight.
The decision to pull Gibby, was that just to kind of maybe jolt the guys a little bit, or was that maybe just to keep them fresh potentially for the next game?
Gibby, you're talking to Tubbs? Yeah, Gibby wasn't. It wasn't a factor at all. Tubbs hadn't played a lot. We were down 4. Give Tubbs some time, and maybe, never know, a change may spark things. We moved some lines around, but it wasn't a reflection of John's play by any means.
And how would you rate the body language that you saw from the players today? It definitely looked like there was some frustration setting in. Is that how things were on the bench? And just what are your overall impressions of that?
Your observations are accurate. There was frustration, but we earned it and we deserved it. So that can change just through our play and our execution. And they're a real good hockey club. They're going to do some things to you that you're not comfortable with. They're going to score some goals. But if you let frustration drag you down or even deeper, you're going to end up with exactly what we got.
Todd, what's been missing outside of the 6-on-5 offensively those last 3 games?
Well, I talked the same thing that I mentioned to begin with. To me, we're playing, one guy's working and doing some honest work, really. Like, he's protecting pucks, and 4 other guys are standing. Like, I was barking on the bench tonight, move. If you don't have the puck, move. But right now, we're not, offensively, we're not supporting each other well. We're not creating open ice for other people. We're not getting to secondary chances. We'll get the grade A ones, and then that's it. What's causing that? We have to go back to all those other reasons and try and solve it.
Todd, how about the starts? Are you concerned about the starts here the last few games?
I thought we had the 2 best scoring chances of the game to begin with. We had one early, and then DeBrincat came down on a 2-on-1, just missed. And 6 minutes later, we're down 2-0. So the start isn't always the score. The start is what happens in the play. And if we scored on those 2, which we didn't, it's easy to say, but if we did, we'd be saying, hey, great start, poor finish. Some starts that throughout the year have been quite poor. I thought our start, the first 3 to 5 minutes were fine. When we got to the power play, it started to fall off, and it never came back.
Todd, after a strong 3-game trip and then to follow it up with these last 3 games, does that just go to prove that, even if you're a little bit off, just how quickly things can change?
Yeah, it definitely does. And, no one's waiting for, I guess, what am I trying to say? No one cares. The rest of the hockey world doesn't care. We have to care. We have to get it back on track. No one feels sorry for you. This is what it feels like to be in a battle and in a race, and that's good for us to be in it. But the fact that we're in it, we have to respect the opportunity that we have, and we haven't done a good job of that lately.
You mentioned the trip. Is there anything you can put a finger on why you guys played so well those 3 games on the road, especially offensively, and then come home and get 2 goals in 3 games?
Yeah, as I said, we're trying to figure it out. Our power play on the trip was much better than our power play's been at home. That's a big factor. So those opportunities gain momentum. They make you feel good offensively. I think our high-end players, whoever they might be, played better on the trip than they have here at home. Is that gas tanks? Is that execution? Is that whatever it might be? But it's not at the level that it needs to be. And so that's what's that, a 2-week or a 10-day span. That's how it can ebb and flow.
I ask this because you're going to get Colorado again next year going there. When you look at kind of the way they create space, was that more tonight of them doing that, or is that more of you guys being almost respecting it too much to not kind of take some of it away from them?
Well, I thought in doing and I don't know what Jared would tell you. Like I'm sure he's happy with the way his team played, obviously. But I thought in doing the pre-scout, they skated tonight. They throughout the lineup they were skating, and maybe not so much in Montreal and Ottawa, I think is where they played before, but they came to skate, and their execution was good. It made them fast. It made them feel comfortable in a game, and we didn't.
And obviously, this may be more of a question for them too, but just when it comes to, everyone talks about Nathan McKinnon, and obviously he had such an impact on the game, but guys who play with him kind of find that space after him. When you kind of look at managing that as a coach opposing it, and you talk to your guys about, hey, taking the space after it's created, what do you kind of look at to help your guys be ready for that?
Well, the star players have tendencies. Nate has them too. They're stars because they can execute even in those tight checking situations. They go to something else. Connor McDavid. You check him in a certain way, he's got a different answer. Nate's the exact same way. And when he's chugging along like he was tonight, and he makes quick plays with legs and hands and mind, it opens up a lot of ice for a lot of other players if they know where to go and how to arrive. And so it makes it difficult on 5-man unit to check, because you got to be aware of Nate, and sometimes it's going to take 2 to slow him down, and now there's something open and he finds it. You flat out have to tip your hat to the guy. He's that good.